Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review and overview of Masters of the Universe Revolution Episode 4, The Dogs of War. So as I've mentioned before in previous reviews, we're going to go into spoilers. If you haven't checked out the episodes, make sure to go watch them and come back. We have reviews for episodes 1, 2, and 3 on the channel, as well as this. And members of the channel get some of these episodes early, so make sure to go check that out on our YouTube. Let's go about over the cast. First of all, we don't have any newcomers, so I'll just kind of go through the cast very quickly. We have Chris Wood as Adam slash Heman. We have Melissa Benoist voicing Tila. Liam Cunningham as Duncan, Man at War. Keith David voices Hordak. Mark Hamill voices Skeletor. Griffin Newman voices Orko. Stephen Root is Cringer slash Battlecat. William Shatner voices Keldor. Tiffany Smith voices Andra. We also have John Delancey as Granomir the Dragon. Lena Headey is Lynn, and Ted Biaselli is Wildor, who we met in the last episode. So, what is going on? So, in the last episode, just quick recap. Um, the master plans of Hordak have gone according to everything that he wanted to do. Skeletor has been instated as the king. He was able to infiltrate everything and make sure that he infected all the citizens with his technology. In the meanwhile, Adam was cut off from the power of Grayskull because the motherboard invaded Castle Grayskull while Tila's out looking for the rest of the power. So here we go. Skeletor finally reveals to Hordak that he knows that he was Keldor. This is very convoluted. I talked about it on the last video, but like Keldor, first of all, Skeletor was like posing to be Keldor, but then he finds out that Hordak knew that he was always Keldor, and now everybody kind of knows. So it's a really fun Saturday morning cartoon shenanigans, I think. Uh, Also, we have the Tila. She tries to find Adam and the Havoc staff because that will acquiring the Havoc staff will complete the power that she's looking for to bring back Preternia. In the meanwhile, Duncan comes to help Tila and Lynn in a new Men of War suit. So that looks really cool. I think everybody's getting an upgrade in some of these looks. Which Tila already got a new look with the serpent. Now Duncan has a new armor. We also have Orko and Wildor, who are working on upgrading the sword to channel the power, but also to help I guess disinfect the citizens from the tech virus that Skeletor's placed upon them. Um, but they are attacked by Hordak's minions. Now we saw these minions in the last episode. I don't think that they were named characters, at least not in the credits. So I don't know who they are, but I know that there's people out there that know a lot more He-Man lore. So let me know down in the comments who are those guys that burst through the door. I was unable to find their names just from a quick Google, so I'll leave it up to the people watching these videos. Skeletor has been having kind of an identity crisis, and I think this is the part that really plays well. This is where it really pays off to have voices like Mark Hamill, like William Shatner, people that can bring in that emotional gravitas to the show, to a show like this. So I think that was very well done. Skeletor kills the motherboard and finally rebels against Hordak because of everything. Like Hordak's been gaslighting Skeletor his whole life, really. So yeah, he finally rebels. Skeletor versus Hordak is the main event of this episode. They have such a cool fight. It's just fucking metal. Like I love how cool they look, how good the fight looks. Like the animation throughout the fight is very well done. The music that's kind of like leading all this up really raises the tension from the fight. Um, Andra finally figures out how to rescue Adam and his mom, who were kind of trapped together in the castle. So all the groups now are kind of on their own little fights, right? We have Tila trying to do her own thing over there with Lynn, with the help of Lynn, and now Duncan. We have Orko and Wildor, and now we have Adam trying to escape the castle with his mom and Andra. In the meanwhile, Skeletor faces off against Hordak. So there's a lot happening in this episode. The sword is finally ready to be taken to He-Man. And there's really good editing, I think, between the different fights, the different places. It really gives you a full picture of everything going on simultaneously, really. So it's really good for timing, but it's just really well done. So you can kind of stay up to date on everything that's happening concurrently. Um, we do have a flashback to Keldor being trained by Hordak before he turned him into Skeletor with the Havoc staff. But Evelyn is, oh, sorry, Lynn. She's not evil anymore. She's able to retrieve the Havoc staff from Skeletor while he's fighting. He's a little distracted. Um, yeah, and that's really cool. Adam comes to the rescue in that super suit that we saw in the first episode that Man of War, like the one that King Randor was wearing. So he finally reunites with Tila. So yeah, it's interesting because Skeletor uses both. He finds a way to balance the magic and the technology to beat Hordak, which magic was always Hordak's kind of like weakness, but obviously he played it off as like saying, "You work for me, Skeletor. You figure out the magic part of it. Motherboard, you figure out the technology of it, and then I'll wield both powers through you guys." So very interesting stuff. And yeah, Skeletor is able to take out Hordak. So now Skeletor pretty much is the big bad. One, we do have a little bit of hope at the end because Tila acquires a third staff. She's able to combine their powers together, and she once again transforms. So we get to see a version of Tila wielding Havoc magic versus the Serpent magic versus her regular magic from the sorcerer or sorceress. So really cool stuff, really great. I think it's really animated very well. So I really enjoyed this episode. But like I mentioned, the highlight of this one, Skeletor versus Hordak, the main event. Like you can't make better television than this. In those few moments, like it was just really fun. It was a really cool fight, and of course, somehow you are led to kind of root for Skeletor because he's more like the devil you know versus the devil you don't. So I don't know. It's very interesting. So that's pretty much it. We only have one more episode to go, and I'm very excited to get into it. So if you have seen this episode, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.